house, also known as Andy, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I will be talking about the Anti Tbr Tag. This was created by a creator named Nicole. I will link her video down below. I had this conversation with Art where I was like, maybe I'll just do all of the negative videos in like 1 month. So that's not the total plan, but I did want to talk about some of the things that I don't plan on reading this year, so, or next year, depending on whenever this video comes out. Yeah. So let's get this show on the road. I am ready to slander some of y'all's favorite books, and I don't really feel bad about it. So, first things first, a popular book that everyone loves that you have no interest in reading, that's going to be Ready Player One. No, I don't remember the author, but I'll include a picture of it here. That'll be Ready Player One. Everyone I know has recommended me to read this book, but anytime I look into the book or read snippets from the book, I feel like it would just be better for everyone if I just didn't read it, because I'm pretty sure I will be mean about it. So I'm not going to read Ready Player One, or Ready Player Two for that matter. Sorry about it. A classic book or author you don't have any interest in reading, that's going to be Jane Austen. I had to read her books in high school, and to be quite frank, I hate classic books and have no intentions of reading any classical books, other than maybe The Bell Jar again for the 800th time, and The Phantom of the Opera. That's going to be it. I don't enjoy classic books. That's all I got. I just don't enjoy them, so I don't intend to read them. Sorry about it. The next is an author whose books you have no interest in reading. That's going to be Jay Kristoff. The reason for this, I want to clarify that I mean Jay Kristoff by himself. If Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff come out with more books, I'm super likely to read them because I love those books together. However, the experience that I've had in reading a Jay Kristoff standalone made me want to die. So, sorry man, I'm not going to be reading any of your books by yourself. Just... why you got sexualized teenagers? Anyway, 3.2 is a problematic author that you have no interest in reading. I have two answers for this. It's going to be J.K. Rowling. I have survived my entire life without reading the Harry Potter books. I think I'm going to continue to survive without reading them now. I think that promoting them on your channel is still promoting more bang in J.K. Rowling's buck, and if you disagree, then that's fine. We can have a disagreement about it, but I just think that it would be disrespectful for me to start reading them now, of all times. I've had my whole life to read them. I'm not going to start doing it now, so. The second author is going to be Stephenie Meyer. While I did read the original Twilight books, were there 3? I don't know. I read the original Twilight books when I was like in middle school. I hated them then. I would hate them now. I have no intention of rereading them. Stephenie Meyer is a very problematic human being, and we just don't talk about it because she's not on Twitter as actively as J.K. Rowling. But she's a terrible person, so I won't be reading any of her books or anything she has come out now or before. Not The Host, not whatever the new Twilight book was called with the pomegranate on it, and I'm very tired of seeing that cover. Midnight Sun. I have no intention of reading any of her books, and I don't particularly feel bad about passing up on Mormon smut, so sorry about it. The next one is an author who you've read a couple of books from and have decided that their books are not for you. That is question 4. That's going to be Kate Williams. She is the author of The Babysitter's Coven. If you watched one of my vlogs and also my November wrap-up, I believe, I go on a complete tangent about how the sequel to this book is one of the worst books that I've read, and how there is a joke that should not have even been made. And due to this, I have no interest in reading this straight white lady's writing anymore. So the books are not that enjoyable on top of it. Apart from the problematic part of it, the writing is really not that enjoyable. It's super easy to comprehend in a quick read, but it's just not worth me wasting my time on. So I will not be reading any more books from Kate Williams. Question number 5 is a genre that you have no interest in, or a genre that you attempted to get into and then just couldn't. The answer to that is going to be romance. If it's straight romance specifically. I will read sapphic romance, but I don't necessarily enjoy it, as well as I don't like contemporary that much either if it's straight, but I really don't care for romance novels, so I really don't intend to read any. And, you know, honestly, sapphic books fall into this category too. When it's sapphic contemporary romances, I'm just less likely to enjoy them, so I'm more likely to unhaul them it's just not for me. When it comes to romance, as someone who's gray, aromantic, or on that spectrum, it makes me uncomfortable to read. I feel weird about it. And then as somebody who already exists in real life, I don't need to read about more trauma from other people. I have enough of my own. I don't need to read any more in a real life environment, and that's why I don't read contemporary. The sixth question is a book you have bought and never read. So I personally don't do this. However, I have checked out books from the library and proceeded to not read them. The book specifically that comes to mind is going to be the Nevernight series. So I had checked out all of the books, and after I DNF'd the first one, I promptly returned all of the rest of them because I wanted to die instead of read those books. The sex scene in that YA novel actually made me want to die, like for real. So I hated it. I hated it so much, and that's coming from someone who read Sarah J. Maas and enjoyed it. So yeah, J. Kristoff F upped on that one. I don't understand why it's a big booktube community like favorite. It's really not that good, and if you have to write every other sentence as a simile or a metaphor, just kill me now instead. That seems like a better option. The next question is a series you have no interest in reading or a series that you started and have DNF'd. So that's going to be the Nevernight series. Once again, I've already explained why. It could also be the Children of Blood and Bone series, and I will get into that because that's also my answer to the next question, but the Children of Blood and Bone series is also a series that I have no intention of continuing. As well as the Babysitter's Coven. There is going to be a third book in that, and self-care is me not reading it, so. The last question is a new release you have no interest in reading. That's going to be anything after the first two books in the Children of Blood and Bone. Unfortunately, when I found out that the Children of Blood and Bone series was signed to have 8 books in it, I lost all interest in reading any of the other books. As much as I enjoyed the first book and I found the writing to be absolutely beautiful, I own 3 editions of the first book. That's how much I enjoyed it. The second book was not as good. I did not care for the romance. The characters got on my last nerve. They didn't really have any character growth between the first and second book. And the idea that there's going to be 8 books total when I felt like the second book really wrapped things up, or gave space for a third book to wrap things up, I cannot imagine what else there needs to be said, and I just am not interested in experiencing these characters for 6 more books. I might read the third one and further decide, but if it really is gonna have that many books, then I'm really not interested in reading it. Get your money, girl. Like, she deserves all of the money for it. She's created her own world. I think there's gonna be a TV show or a movie series for it, and I support all of that. The books are good. I don't want to read that many books. I really don't. Editing Andy here. I do recognize the irony of the fact that the Shadowhunter series is directly behind me. As I mentioned, the fact that I don't want to read 8 books of the Children of Blood and Bone series. However, I don't own, for instance, the Mortal Instruments from the Shadowhunter series, specifically because I hate those characters so much, and I hated that series so much, the series within the series. If the Children of Blood and Bone series happens to be like set up in the same way that the Shadowhunters are set up, so like you have your initial trilogy and then another trilogy and another trilogy with different characters set within the same world, I'll probably reconsider that opinion. But because I don't care for the characters, I find their hot and coldness with romance to be really frustrating. That's why I don't want to continue to read the series, because I don't want to continue to read about the characters. But I didn't want anyone to be like, she's got the Shadowhunter series behind her and there's like 800 books. I totally understand that and I recognize that. Also, I hate myself for liking the Shadowhunter series, so like, I already know. Okay, thanks, bye. Coming from somebody who read 400 plus books in 1 year, but it just seems exhaustive when you don't care for the characters. So that's the Anti Tbr Tag. That's going to be all of the books that I have no interest in reading, all of the genres that I really don't care for and why, and I might have shit on one of your favorite books, and I'm really sorry if so, but I just feel really strongly about the opinions that I have. So If you liked this, let me know in the comments down below. If you didn't like this, I totally understand. But don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Don't forget to turn your notifications on because some people have had an issue with that. And I will see you guys either on Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time or on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry again if I was rude about your favorite book.